Hello everyone, how's my audio? Today we're reviewing a video that was released by the Cosmic Skeptic himself in his new channel, Cosmic Clips. Go and look at me. I'm subscribing to it right now. Subscribe. I'm doing it in front of you guys to remind you to subscribe to my channel, Atheist Republic, here as well. And I'm hitting the bell button and I'm also liking the video. Okay, so do it. And this video was about me. Look at this, Alex. So Alex, the title is Alex and Armin Navabi clash on quote unquote radical vegans. So Alex, you guys know Alex from Cosmic Skeptic, right? Everybody know this. Okay, everyone in live chat is telling me the audio is great. Thank you for that. So I have been exposed in this video, in this very, very short video, under 3 minutes. I have been exposed with my hypocrisy. Dolly is saying Armin was so younger here in this video. This is about 2 years ago. It's just my hair is shorter. How much younger could I be? Ali is saying, yep. Luke is saying, oh, Joey, can't wait for this. Yes, I've been exposed, guys. I've been exposed for my hypocrisy. My values have not been consistent. And Alex himself just he just noticed how some of my views contradict my other views. And in this conference, okay, in London, by the way, shout out to VideoVids for organizing this conference. It was amazing. It was so much fun, right? And look at all the great people that we hung out with. Oh, and also Zara K is here right next to me over here, which we'll see her as well. Oh, I miss. Okay, we'll see this. Okay, well, this is okay here. Let me just play it, and you guys tell me. And you guys, because you guys are not that smart, some of you guys are going to think that I have been caught as well. You guys are going to think that there's some... No, actually, that's not fair. I'm not, guys, that's not fair. I'm just joking, okay? I'm just having fun with you guys. The thing is that we are dealing with one of the best YouTubers. Look at these people. Look at the quality of people here. We have Rationality Rules here. We have MTL Shams here. And we have Cosmic Skeptic. Like, we're dealing with heavyweight intellectuals here, okay? So me being called out by Cosmic Skeptic in front of an audience like this, and then him cutting it out just recently, this is very recent, right? And then pointing out again that I was being a hypocrite. This is like, really, like, you guys, like, it's not that often that you have one of the most famous atheist YouTubers out there that just exposes you like this, right? So let's see what this video is about. And if I will, maybe I should just stop talking about veganism after this, right? Because I have been so exposed so brutally, then I should just bow down in shame and just not ever talk about this ever again, right? Do I have anything to say? Do I have anything to say in my defense after I show you this video? Do I? Or do I not? Queen. Our queen is saying, oh my God, this is fetus Armin. Guys, this is 2 years ago. Wait a minute. What are you guys talking about? Baby Armin. Guys, this is have I... Okay, look at me right now. Have I really aged since 2 years? This is just I just have shorter hair. What's wrong with you guys? Oh my God. All right. All right. Let's just play this video, okay? Look at this. It's Zara K. Then now, yeah. I'm not going to say anything. My God. Now, if Zara K didn't go through all of this trouble recently, I would be like, oh, hey, it's Zara K. But now I feel so bad because of all the crap that she has to deal with. I'm like, Oh, Zara K. All right, let's continue.
Way to reform Islam.
Look at that, Zara K. I miss. Okay, guys, I really miss Zara now because of everything that she dealt with. It's like I feel really bad now. Look at her. She's just like Oh, yes. Soha is saying justice for Zara K. Yes, hashtag justice for Zara K. Yeah, Lethal. I know you keep complaining about that, and see what you get from complaining. Yes, free Zara K. Stand up for Zara. I don't know. This is a new hashtag. I don't think like we should keep like coming up with new hashtag. I think that let's just stay with. I think we should just focus on this one. Hashtag justice for Zara K. Yeah, guys, you keep complaining about what you're expecting and what you're getting. See if that leads. Just keep complaining. See what that's going to lead to. You're not going to get anything from that. You guys know we do review videos here, so just like keep crying. Just keep crying. Just keep crying in the live chat. See what that's going to happen. What's going to happen? All right.
The only way to reform Islam is to abandon Islam.
Guys, you see, like, look at this earlier. So he's saying, this is what I said before, and you guys can see already where this is going, right? You guys can see where. No, Clove, I wasn't responding. I wasn't talking about you, Clove. Guys, pay attention. Pay attention. I said, what does this got to do with veganism? I said the only way to reform Islam is to abandon Islam. Okay, so CosmicSkeptic is highlighting this, but this video is about veganism. Veganism. What does this got to do with veganism? You guys know that? You guys know where this is going. You guys know my views on veganism, right? You guys know my views on veganism, right? So let's see what happened here.
The only way to reform Islam is to abandon Islam. As long as Islam...
But guys, the title that I pick is basically the same title that Alex picked, but the other way around. Alex picked the title, Alex and Armin Navabi Clash on Radical Vegans. I picked the title, CosmicSkeptic and Armin Clash on Radical Vegans, okay? So, look at Zara K being so impressed. Zara K really likes what I say. Look, every time I go full-on anti-Islamic, Zara likes it. Look at this.
In Islam. As long as Islam it has anything to do with a book that promotes...
Look at her when she's laughing.
Wife beating.
Okay, I'm saying as long as... Hold on.
Do with a book that...
Look, Imtiaz also likes it. Imtiaz, like... yeah, guys, I'm a funny guy. Look, everybody is like enjoying what I'm saying. Yes.
Anything to do.
Look, Ali is like Ali gets it. Ali's saying I said the only way to. Okay, yeah, guys. Okay, just watch what I'm saying here. Okay, just watch what I'm saying.
It has anything to do with a book that promotes wife beating, that promotes taking slaves, that promotes raping women, that promotes eternal torture for people that don't believe in a book. As long as Islam is tied to that book, this is an ideology that needs to die. We wouldn't make excuses for reforming any other idea that was tied to this idea unless it was a religion.
Wow. Guys, that needs to be... That whole part needs to be turned into a meme or stuff. Look at that. Look, this round of applause right there. One more time. Hold on.
As long as Islam it has anything to do with a book that promotes wife beating, that promotes taking slaves, that promotes raping women, that promotes eternal torture for people that don't believe in a book, as long as Islam is tied to that book, this is an ideology that needs to die. We wouldn't make excuses for reforming any other idea that was tied to this idea unless it was a religion.
To what degree do you think militant atheism, in whatever way you want to define that, is a problem?
It's okay to have different kinds of activism as long as the soft activists recognize that they have a platform because of the more aggressive activists.
I don't want to...
Oh, there we go. Now we have the CosmicSkeptic Alex moving in and be like, wait a second, Armin. Hold on.
I don't want to bring something up that the audience won't be familiar with, but we had a conversation just the other day, and I'm sure you were.
Look at him. Me talking to him in private. Now he's exposing me in front of all all these people. By the way, that's Waleed. That's our We Do Vids right here. Look at everybody here. That's Cosmic Skeptic. You have Genetically Modified Skeptic. We have MTL Shams. We have Rationality Rules. We have Zara K. We have Sadia. We have Jimmy. Jimmy is here as well. Everybody. Oh my God. All these people. And We Do Vids. And where is? Okay. Yes. So many great people here. Oh my God.
We're arguing the exact reverse because.
Oh, it's like, Armin, you were talking about something else and you were arguing the exact reverse just earlier. What? And they're like, what is, and people are laughing. Hold on. What is he saying? Okay, Kisan, I'm going to block you if you keep complaining.
Because just to give the audience some context and not to misrepresent Armin.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back.
The exact reverse. Because just to give the audience some context and not to misrepresent Armin here, which I never do.
Very briefly.
Never do on purpose. We had a conversation about veganism, and Armin is of the belief that radical vegans, so to speak, have poisoned the animal rights movement because they all get thrown in the same boat. And I could say the exact same thing to you, Armin.
I answered you.
Oh my God, look at this. Rationality. He was about to leave.
You did.
I answered you. By the way, this video is going to be released on Atheist Republic, so subscribe to Atheist Republic YouTube.
Yes, subscribe to Atheist Republic right now.
the debate we had on veganism.
Do you guys understand his argument? Do you guys understand his point? Right?
And also check out Cosmic Skeptic.
Yeah, I have a Patreon too.
Yeah, guys, check out his Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon.
If you're interested.
But
yeah, guys, actually, let me tell you something. Cosmic Skeptic's Patreon, number of Patreon to number of subscriber ratio is really shameful, right? If you go to Cosmic Skeptic's main channel, he has like how many subscribers? I don't know, like a lot. I don't know how much it is. Like, is it like, wait a minute, how many is it? Cosmic. Like, this is a guy that has been providing so much value. Like, almost 400,000 subscribers, right? And he has like 600 patrons. Like, that's just only double what we have. And even though he has 1 million subscribers, like, for somebody that has provided this much value for so long, why does he have only 600 patrons? If you are a fan of Cosmic Skeptic, consider becoming a patron to his Patreon. Like, seriously. And like, how does he? I don't think he asks for it that much. Maybe that's why he doesn't promote it as often as we do. But seriously, like, somebody, like, some of you are huge fans of Cosmic Skeptic, and he's like one of the best YouTubers in the atheist scene. And some of you are even vegans or and you don't even, and you think like he is the leading activist when it comes to vegan activism, and you still are not patrons. Like, what's up with that? So yeah, go show him some love. Anyways, let's continue.
But the difference is the end goal. The end goal for me when it comes to Islam is to end Islam. When it comes to animal rights,
the end goal is to end animal exploitation. Full stop.
No,
That's it.
To end.
That's it.
Well, I mean,
That's his goal.
I don't want to start this discussion, but to me, we have different goals there.
Yes.
To me, it's just to end animal suffering, not animal killing. As long as there's no animal suffering, I'm okay.
As you said, it's the same thing.
No. The thing is that because if the analogy would be the same if my end goal was not to end Islam.
I understand.
Right. So that the difference.
I want to point out to the audience, I'm not just bringing this up for the sake of it. I think that I'm just trying to make a point that if we're going to make an argument about how we go about trying to convince people of ideas, it's not just about convincing people of religion. It's about all ideas that we talk about.
Right. But it was a really good debate. So check it out.
Well,
Check out that debate.
By the way, that debate has still not been. Oh no, it has been released. Never mind.
For more information, he comes late and he asks for money. Okay, cool.
Hey. Oh, okay. Yes. Valid had to say. Oh my God, Valid is like such a great comedian because Alex showed up late to this conference, and Valid is like, because he promoted his Patreon here. Valid is like, he comes late and he asks for money, and Alex left that part in. Like, look at, that's amazing. That's awesome. Look what Valid said. I don't know if people noticed that, but that was so funny. Look at this.
For more information. He comes late and he asks for money.
He comes late and he asks for money. And Alex left that in. That is beautiful. All right, let me explain this to you guys, to some of you people in the live chat who are a bit slow, okay? That, you don't have enough. Hold on. All right, what's the difference? What is the difference between me saying that I don't want to reform Islam, I want to end Islam? But when it comes to veganism, it seems like I'm a hypocrite, right? It seems like when it comes to Islam, when it comes to veganism, I'm like, I'm not that radical anymore. I'm like, yeah, let's not stop eating meat. Let's focus on reducing animal suffering, treating them better, less horrible conditions, more regulations on how animals are treated in factory farms, and all of that, right? It seemed like when it comes to Islam, I have this all or none approach, and nothing in between. And I'm like, no, like, this is a religion that promotes slavery, that is misogynistic, that is like anti-woman, anti-gay, anti-trans, it's violent, it's barbaric. There is no reforming it. You cannot reform cancer, you end cancer. Like, this is I have all these aggressive takes about, like, how could you this is, yeah, I keep telling you guys that, no, it's not buffering. Guys, don't tell me it's buffering. It's not buffering. I have my phone here. I can see it's not buffering. I keep telling this is a harmful idea. Don't tell me you don't want to. Nobody suggests that we should reform Yahtzeeism, and I call it Yahtzeeism because I don't know if YouTube likes the real name, right? But all of a sudden, with other things that are harmful, like, I acknowledge that the way animals are treated in factory farms is extremely immoral, unethical, whatever you want to call it. That it's an abomination. The way there's so many animals right now as we speak being tortured for our sake, for the sake of our pleasure. And I don't say just abolish. I abolish Islam, abandon Islam. There's no way of reforming Islam. But when it comes to the meat industry, it seems like I'm being a hypocrite. I'm being a hypocrite. I'm just saying no, do not get rid of it. Just reform it. It seems like I'm promoting reform for the meat industry rather than abolishing. So have I been exposed here? Am I a hypocrite? Do you guys know what I'm about to say to that? Let me see what you guys say in the live chat. Okay, you guys are talking about Hinduism for some reason. Hinduism promotes vegetarianism. Still, you hypocrite, oppose Hinduism. I have Hindutva power. You're an idiot. I don't even want to waste my time responding to you. I'm not the vegan here. I'm the anti-vegan here. So you didn't even understand that. So you're a moron. Darwinian atheist saying CosmicSkeptic supports abortions, which most of us do, and on the other hand, he scoffs at people for eating meat and eggs. Okay, I think he's been consistent. Abortions are fine. We're talking about not very conscious entities, and when it comes to animals, we're talking about animals that basically we're talking about animals that can experience, that are aware, that are conscious, that could experience pain. When it comes to eating eggs, that requires really bad conditions for chickens. So I don't think, Darwinian atheist, I don't think you have managed to show any hypocrisy when it comes to that. I don't care about fetuses, and I care about conscious animals more than not so conscious human fetuses, right? And by animals, I mean non-human animals, right? Ali is saying because our brain is not wired to think, so because Islam is directly affect our lives, but veganism is indirectly does that. I don't know what you're saying, Ali. All right. Okay, this is a naturalistic fallacy. Like you're appealing to nature, I think here. Matthew saying humans are omnivore, not vegans or carnivores, and maybe it's because Islam is the real problem, not trying to convert people to. No, guys. There are more conscious beings suffering from in factory farms than human beings suffering from Islam. Okay. When it comes to measuring the total pain and misery, the number of chickens and pigs and cows that are suffering right now from in factory farms, if you just add the number of that is higher than the number of humans that are suffering from Islam. Okay, so if you really want to be a utilitarian, that would be a priority. Why is it not my priority then, right? I mean, we already did the video on this, right? Okay, so none of you get it then. All right. So here's the difference. Amio is saying comparing human fetuses to animals would always be an illogical fallacy. You want to mention what fallacy is that, or you're just going to say it's a logical fallacy? Just going to announce that it's a fallacy? In what way? Oh my God, you guys are now talking about health-related stuff. Health-related stuff is not relevant when it comes to... Guys. All right, you guys are missing the point. We're talking about reducing the number of... the amount of misery on this goddamn planet, right? Obviously, if you're going to be slightly healthier because of the amount of pain and misery you inflict on this many conscious beings, that's not going to be justifiable. Okay, there are ways to be healthy. None of this, again, I'm saying all of this as a non-vegan. Okay, let me just tell you guys. Okay. When it comes to Islam, right? The reason why I'm against reform and for full-on advocating for abandoning Islam is not because I don't believe in baby steps. It's not because I think like no progress is good, that no improvement is good enough unless we get unless we get the full thing, unless we get the maximum benefit. That's moronic. Some progress is better than no progress. I can't say I want no progress unless I get all the progress that there is to get. So why in that case, like if people think like, I mean, you're like black and white, you're thinking in binary. If you could get some, like this is what Sam Harris told me in the episode that we haven't had him as a guest on Secular Jihadists. He said, well, if we could get Islam just like 10% less harmful, that is progress. Then why would I be against? That was his argument for defending reforming Islam. Why would we not be for that? Just because you want a world where there is no Islam, why can't we for now just be happy that we have a version of Islam that is 10% less bad, right? If you look at it like that, it seems like I'm wrong. And yeah, people are like, Armin, you're just like, you have this pie in the sky, like you want too much. What do you want? You want people to become atheists and just like, and nothing else is like acceptable to you? Faisal mentioned that I'm a radical atheist. I'm an atheist fundamentalist, and there's like, I seem like I don't, nothing else is, I can't tolerate anything, any form of improvement other than full on atheism, right? So here's my defense to all of that, okay? I would be for reforming Islam if I actually believe that it was a baby step, it was progress, it was a step in the right direction, even if it wasn't maximum progress or like full on atheism, full on abandoning of ridiculous ideas, right? If people believe in ridiculous ideas today and tomorrow they believe in a little bit less ridiculous ideas, that's improvement. They don't have to be full on, don't have to give up on all their ridiculous ideas for me to be satisfied. Baby steps are great. The reason why I'm against reforming Islam is because I don't think reforming Islam, it's baby steps in the right direction. I think it's the exact opposite. I think reforming Islam, it's not a step between like, oh, Armin, they like, guys, reform Islam is like something between fundamentalism and atheism. You should be happy that people went from being fundamentalists to being reformed Muslims. I'm like, no, you made it worse. I think I think if you study history, both in Christianity and Islam, the way that these ideas defend themselves and remain relevant, I think reforming Islam or any other religion, it's a defense mechanism for keeping these religions around longer. So it's not that I'm against some progress. It's that I don't think this is progress. I think reforming Islam is the step backwards. It's a tool for Islam or other religions to, when we are defeating them, when we're about to destroy them, when we're like close to making them less relevant in some areas, this is the last defense mechanism that these religions have to not be annihilated by people like us, right? And when you're fighting this dragon and you have wounded it and it's like injured and you have the sword. By the way, guys, I'm talking about Islam, okay? I'm talking about Islam as a religion. I'm not talking about Muslims, okay? The metaphor I'm using is not about people, okay? When it comes to like ending Islam, I'm talking about ending Islam requires befriending Muslims and talking to them. I'm having conversations with them. Fighting Islam requires having conversations with Muslims, and you can't have conversation with Muslims unless you befriend them, okay? So this might all seem very hostile to you, like, oh my God, ending Islam. What is this? Armin is being like, really, like, what are you talking about? Like, you being mean to, like, are you going to be like aggressive towards Muslim? No. The best, again, let me be clear. The best way to fight Islam is to befriend Muslims. You cannot destroy ideologies without actually getting the people who believe in those ideas to listen to you. And you really can't get them to listen to you unless you find a way to befriend them, okay? So this is very aggressive towards the ideology, which would require you to be very close and friendly to the people who believe it, okay? So don't think like when I'm talking about swords and dragons and slaughtering a dragon, this represents the idea, not the people. For crying out loud, like, please don't like ever think that I would ever suggest anything other. All right, so when the dragon is injured, you don't leave. When you're like standing on top of the dragon and the dragon is injured, you plunge the sword into its heart. You don't walk away and let it recover, okay? As a utilitarian, okay, let me see what this guy is saying. Well, CosmicSkeptic can claim the same argument about veganism when you say we should reform the dairy industry so that we can reduce. No, I'm getting to that. I'm making my point right now. If you be patient a little bit, let me see if any of our members tagged me. No. Okay, member tags, no member tags. Okay. I have to pay attention to YouTube members tagging us, okay? All right. As a utilitarian, okay, the main thing that I care about is reducing misery, reducing harm. Okay? There are strategies and there are results, right? You have the results and you have the strategies that you apply to get those results that you want. Okay? So when it comes to fighting Islam, the strategy for me is like attacking Islam outright rather than trying to reform it. Okay? And guess what? Attacking Islam outright and calling for its abolishment does get you baby steps in the right direction, right? Because even if you think that this whole defense mechanism that religion has, that it goes into the corner and acts all like, okay, you know what, we're a feminist religion, we're a peaceful religion, we're pro-gay rights, we're pro this, we're pro-democracy. This is all just a defense mechanism and it doesn't represent anything in the Quran or the Bible, anything like that. You understand? Like, yeah, but we prefer having the religion in that position rather than in a position where it's in power, that it could be true to its very nature, right? The way that you get religion to be in that corner, even if that's what you want, is to be full-on anti-theist, right? If you look at religions, when they had a position of authority, they never came. It's not that they by themselves ever decided to remove that position of authority and become a milder version of themselves. They were forced into these positions by. It was never from within that religions like, okay, so for example, if you look at like Islamic reform, the modern Islamic reform movement, it's not because the Muslims themselves looked at the Quran and they read the Quran and they realized that for 1400 years, for example, a verse that tells you that you should beat your wife, all of a sudden they realize like, oh wait, we have been reading this wrong for 1400 years. This actually means something else. Maybe it means like tickle your wife or something like that. No. It was because competing ideas, only in the modern world where ethics and value systems improve so much that we realize, hey, maybe this whole wife beating thing, maybe it's not a good idea, right? Only then, because of the popularity of competing ideas to Islam is now and Islam in some areas in the world losing its relevancy and looking so outdated, tries to look inwards, and because of this push from outside, wants to reinterpret the text so that it could remain relevant. And because of the position of authority that it's losing, it doesn't want to fully die out, so it tries to change the religion and make it mean something else, right? So what I'm trying to say is that the pressure is not from inside, the pressure is from outside, and the pressure from outside is not a demand for the religion to change. The pressure from outside is people moving away from Islam or Christianity towards superior sources of philosophy, ethics, value recognition, truth recognition, and all of that, right? So Islam is not even relevant. People just moving away and Islam not being able to compete. So the pressure is from outside, it's not from inside, right? So given that we historically have seen even the reform that some people want, it's not because anything from within, it's a desperate attempt to stay relevant. Even if you want to see more of that, then you have to do more anti-theism. You can't be like, don't jump on the bandwagon, because that pressure is either going to get more people to leave a religion, or if it's going to force people to do the defense mechanism to do reform or stuff like that. It's not, you don't need to jump on the bandwagon of the reformists to make more of that happen. You could jump on our side on being a full-on anti-theist, and that whole reform thing will be a byproduct by itself, right? In fact, if that reform is not there, the only thing that's going to happen is more abandonment of that religion, because without that reform movement, that pressure, that source of influence for people to notice superior sources of influence is already going to be there, right? And people are either going to jump ship or they're going to find excuses like reform to stay in. So taking that reform excuse away, it's not going to make more people remain fundamentalists. It's going to only help more people completely abandon ship, right? So don't jump on the reform bandwagon. Even if you want baby steps, jump on the anti-theist bandwagon, right? And also, when it comes to if you don't want to be promoting anti-theism, if you don't want to go full-on anti-religion and you want baby steps, there are baby steps that are intellectually honest, rather than reform, like unlike reform, which are a lie. Basically, you're telling people that their scripture means something else and you know it doesn't. You could promote skepticism, you could promote doubt, right? And those are baby steps, but it's a baby step that is not gonna be used as a way to keep the religion alive and relevant. It's a baby step that is not full-on atheism, but it's intellectually honest, and it's a baby step in the right direction. So I am for gradual progress, but I am for gradual progress that weakens religion rather than gives it more relevancy and strength in the long run, right? If I promote doubt and skepticism, it doesn't require me defending a book that promotes slavery, that promotes rape, that promotes torture, that promotes everything. Again, almost everything that we find unethical, this book promotes. I don't have to. If you're defending the Quran, if you're defending reform, you're defending Islam. If you're defending Islam, you're defending the Quran. If you're defending the Quran, you're defending all of these. You're defending rape. You're defending slavery. But if you want if you want baby steps, if you want progress that is not full on atheism, promote skepticism, because that is a baby step and it weakens the religion rather than strengthening it. So, strategies and goals. Strategies and goals, right? Goals is to reduce misery, and strategy is to reduce the influence of ideologies that are responsible for a high amount of misery on this planet, right? When it comes to veganism, what is the goal? The goal is to reduce misery, right? I think this is a confusion that people have when it comes to, let me see how I want to phrase this, okay? So, if I manage to come up with a strategy that reduces animal torture, animal misery, that is, the goal is being accomplished here. So if you compare me not going full on abandoning meat or animal products and comparing that, because saying like, this is like, Armin, this is comparable to you endorsing the reform movement, right? Because this is like a step. So there's two types of confusion here. First of all, is the confusion one is that people think that I'm not for baby steps. I am for baby steps. I am for progress, small progress. Almost the most radical changes in history have happened through gradual progress rather than overnight changes, right? So I am for progress. The reason why I'm against reform is because it's not even progress, right? So that's the one confusion. The other confusion is confusing the strategy with the measurement of how much closer you are to the goal, okay? So me not endorsing the reform movement is a strategy. The goal is to reduce misery, okay? And me, for example, being anti-theist is not going to make Muslims, like 2 billion Muslims on the planet, become atheists overnight. The progress is going to be very gradual. And that's the measurement of the progress, right? So even though I am very aggressive in my strategy, I understand that the progress is still going to be gradual. So when it comes to veganism, if you say, Armin, why are you endorsing something that has a gradual progress? But I'm doing the same thing when it comes to fighting Islam. The strategy is full-on anti-Islamic, But the goal, the measurement of how much closer we are to the goal, is still gradual. So when it comes to animal rights activism, when you say, Armin, you're endorsing slow progress, yes, that is, again, see, let me see. Islam here, right? We have strategy, full-on anti-theism, goal, gradual progress when it comes to people abandoning Islam, okay? When it comes to veganism, the goal is to gradual reduction of animal misery. You're now comparing the goal when it comes in veganism to the strategy when it comes to Islam. So you're confusing goals and strategies. As a utilitarian, the goal, if you manage to reduce animal misery, even if you don't abandon the animal farm industry outright, you are achieving your goal. Do you think, does it make sense for anybody to be against a reduction in harm against animals just because you didn't outright abandon the consumption of animal product? How could anybody suggest that that's not a good thing if you manage to find a way to reduce? This is why I think that vegans have destroyed animal rights activism, because they have become very dogmatic about what they're willing to accept. See, me as a very radical anti-theist, I am happy with gradual progress in people abandoning their religions. Okay? My strategy is very aggressively anti-religion, and there's no ifs or buts or anything in the middle about it. But I acknowledge that my strategy will lead to gradual progress, not overnight people abandoning their religion. Very gradual progress, right? But when it comes to the radical vegans, it seems like gradual progress is not something that they're willing to endorse. Because if you say that if you go out and endorse, for example, better conditions for animals in animal farms or whatever, what do you call it? They're like, no. Nothing short of abandoning animal products is acceptable. And this is why I think that a lot of vegans, hashtag not all, are responsible for a lot of misery against a lot of torture, a lot of pain towards animals. Like, I think animals are suffering more today because of vegans. Their strategy has backfired a lot, because there's a lot of okay, so here's the thing. When it comes to reducing the misery that animals are experiencing throughout the world, it would have been very, very easy to get a lot of people on the anti-animal abuse bandwagon. It's so easy, because most people don't want to see people. Okay, a lot of people want to still eat their burger, but if you ask them to stop eating their burgers, they're like, no. But if you ask them to like promote better conditions, like maybe KFC or a McDonald's or Burger King not buying their meat from farms that have doing, like, I don't know, a campaign to force them to not buy from this farm or that farm because the conditions are bad. I mean, people are already naturally anti-big corporate, evil corporations. People already think like, yeah, torturing animals is not good. They could feel better about the burger that they're eating, knowing that, oh yeah, McDonald's is now, I don't know, buying their meat from farms that animals are being treated better. People could really easily get on the bandwagon of pressuring politicians to pass laws that require all these factory farms to treat the animals better. And would that remove all form of animal misery? No. But would it remove a lot of animal misery? Yes. But because animal rights activism has now been associated with veganism and only veganism, like this is the first thing people think of. When I say animal rights, people think annoying vegans. Okay? That's why a lot of people have washed their hands off of animal rights activism. These are people that would have easily been able to, for us to capture, to get on promoting better conditions for animals. And we have lost them. The whole movement of animal rights activism has been taken over by veganism. And that's why it's hard for us now to go tell people to care about animals, because they think now we're going to tell them to stop eating burgers or something like that. And because of that, animals are suffering more today because of all the resources and all the attention that is not the opportunity cost associated with people not paying attention to all the activism they could have done for better conditions. Because vegans will not accept better conditions because you're still consuming animal products. A lot of people might respond to me, Armin, there are people who are doing like this is if this is your response to me right now, you're dumb. Okay? Because you might be like, hey, Armin, look, there are already people that are fighting for better conditions. Yes, I'm talking about the opportunity cost. I'm talking about the missed resources and attention that could have been spent more on this kind of activism. I didn't say there's none. Goddamn idiot. Anyways. Well, I haven't been paying attention to the live chat. Let me see what you guys are saying in the live chat. I hear you, Armin. If vegan farmers still use pesticides and I don't know what that is, would still get cancer. Okay, this is not about cancer. What are you talking about? This is not, I don't know what you're talking about. This has nothing to do with anything I was talking about. I'm not talking about our health. I'm talking about animal suffering. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to focus. Ali's saying, if enough people aren't abandoning meat consumption, factory farms aren't going to be run out of business. If the government make laws to treat animals better, it'll reduce meat. Where's the second part of this? Yes, by the way, a lot of people saying like, but Armin, those better conditions is going to make meat so expensive. And that's going to lead to less people eating meat anyways. I'm like, yeah, you're welcome. With one bill like that, you're going to get way more people abandoning meat, more than all your activism in trying to go and shaming and chasing people to changing their habit. You could change people's habit by increasing the price of meat by basically, it's kind of like a jiu-jitsu move. Like you trick them. And like, do you guys like animals being tortured? No. Why didn't you call your congressman and tell them to pass this bill? Like, yes, I don't like animals being tortured. I want to eat my burger and feel like they have been treated well before they became delicious meat. And then push them to pass this bill, and all of a sudden the burger becomes a lot more expensive. And they're like, oh crap, what did I do? And I'm going to buy less burgers, less meat. All right? Just a trick. It works. It works better than you shaming and guilting them. All right. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Farmers and all. You guys are fighting amongst yourself. Anyways, if you guys have anything else to say, you want to type. Oh, there we go. Matthew saying, I agree with you. PETA is too radical and they turn more people away from veganism. with their radical approach and trying to convert people. Oh yeah, Vikram is here. Vegan activists do fight for what you are prescribing. You are focusing on the ones that don't, but don't emphasize on those. I just responded to this already. Vikram, without reading your comment, I preemptively responded to this. I told you that somebody in the comment section is going to be like, but people do this already. Yes, I'm talking about the opportunity. I'm talking about the missed opportunities. Of course there are people. Do you really think that I think that there's nobody doing this? I'm talking about the people who are not doing this because of the opportunity cost associated with the radical vegans. I specifically preemptively responded to this. In fact, I am not focusing. I mentioned, you're saying you are focusing on these ones, but don't emphasize on the ones. I said before your comment, I said, I know people already do this. I'm talking about the people who are an all or nothing approach and how their approach is going to reduce the activism that is done that could help reduce the misery and suffering on a lot of animals. Okay? I'm talking about how I specifically responded to this. I specifically responded to this before you even commented. The vegan activists that have an all or nothing approach are scaring away people from doing any form of animal rights activism. You cannot tell me that the PR and the image that veganism has not been damaged because of those people. Everybody knows, even though there are a lot of people that are doing a lot of good animal rights activist work and are responsible for a lot of progress, you cannot deny the backlash and that harm that a lot of vegans have done to the entire animal rights movement and the bad PR that this whole movement has had. I'm not denying the existence of the activists that are doing good work. How is me telling people that the dogmatic all or nothing approach that some vegans have, how is me highlighting that denying the existence of animal rights activists that are doing good work? How is it denying that? I'm not denying that. All right. Anything else anybody wants to say? Oh, here. Linus is saying, let's agree on the PR issue of veganism. What about the philosophy itself? In what sense are radical vegans radical? Hey, by the way, radical, I don't think radical is being... I know Susanna is like... doesn't like the word radical, but when I use the word radical, I'm not necessarily mean bad. Sometimes you need to be radical. I mean, I don't know if it's a good word to use or not, but I consider myself a radical anti-theist. Sometimes radical problems need radical solutions. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it is radical in the sense that it wants to... Okay, it is radical, but I'm not saying that my problem with it is not the fact that it's radical, right? Like, it is radical in the sense that it wants to completely reshape the way society and works and how people consume. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. When I used to go to concerts when I was younger, Peter used to hand out videos to us that would show us animal torturing. It used to give me nightmares. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing, though. I think like the ask is the bad thing. Okay, so I think that animals are being tortured on such a high scale that right now, as we speak, that this should be one of the greatest concerns for most people, and it's not. And I agree with vegans on that. Okay. And a lot of people don't agree with them on that. I do agree with them on that. I think the ask, the problem with their strategy is the ask. if the ask is to not consume animal products, I think the ask should have been a top-down approach, more than a bottom-up approach. I think the ask should be regulations and campaigning against big organizations and laws against factory farms and stuff like that. And to be fair, there has been a lot of progress made on that front. But imagine the progress if more of the resources spent on chasing after people and shaming them was spent on this form of activism. And imagine the progress that you could have made on that front if people didn't associate animal rights activism with veganism all the time. So it's not like I'm denying the progress. I'm just wishing. I just think that the progress would have been astronomically higher. I think a lot of people, you guys don't understand what I'm saying, but it's okay. Some of you do that, and that's enough. All right. This guy is saying La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. Sure, buddy. Sure. Oh, here's another. He's saying it again. Keep doing the shahadat. Allahu Akbar. Iblis Akbar. Oh, he mean Iblis Akbar. Oh, wow. We have like a. Oh my God, he's this is the third time. That's pretty cool. We have a jihadi in our live chat. No, Allahu Iblis doesn't make sense. No, Allahu Iblis doesn't make any sense. I think you changed the wrong word. You have to say Iblis or Akbar. Saying Allahu Iblis, you're just basically saying God devil. You have to say Iblis or Akbar so that you can say the devil is the greatest. Linus is saying, what keeps you from being vegan? I did an entire stream on this. What was the name of that stream? Let me actually find it for you so that you could go look at it. Find it. Let me see. What was it? What was the stream I did on veganism? So you can, yeah, I'm not a vegan. And what is the title of the video? Okay. Yes, go look up CosmicSkeptic Destroys Veganism. Search for that video, and then I explain in detail over there why I'm not a vegan. So search for it again. This is what you search for. CosmicSkeptic Destroys Veganism. Allah is the greatest. You guys are just at least. Oh yeah, there we go. This guy was like not really a real jihadi because now he's saying Iblis Akbar. There's no way this guy is a real Muslim. He was just trolling because he likes it. He was saying Allahu Akbar just a second ago, and I introduced him to Iblis Akbar, and now he's just yelling Iblis Akbar. I just deconverted a Muslim just live here with you guys. Now he's a devil worshiper. Amazing. That wasn't hard. He's still spamming. It's okay. Al-Shaitan who Allah? That doesn't make sense. Okay, you guys, you can say anything you want as long as you don't repeat it like 5 or 6 times, because then you're gonna get blocked or like at least a suspension. All right. Anyways, Armin voodoo magic. Yeah, you guys see how fast I could deconverted somebody? This is the power of. Okay, this guy. Okay, Omar, I'm gonna remove you soon. But we're about to end. Okay, so you guys are not tagging me. You guys are not tagging me or anything. So I'm about to leave that. All right, this was fun. Guys, I dropped a lot of wisdom here. Only for those who I'm gonna go Quranic on you. This is how the Quran speaks, right? I gave you a lot of signs, a lot of wisdom, but only some of you will recognize. You know, I just dropped a lot of hikmah here. I just dropped a lot of hikmah here. Okay, so if you recognize, if you understood what I was trying to say, because this is not just about veganism or Islam. Okay, this is about evaluating strategy, goals, measuring harm and misery, and doing utilitarianism properly. Okay. This is us exercising these tools that we have so we could apply it in different places as well, okay? If you recognize what I just said, even if you disagree with me, if you understood what I'm trying to do here and the way I'm trying to help all of us think here when it comes to applying the same strategies in other areas, then like this video, you subscribe, you better goddamn share this video. I mean, if you don't share this video, this deserves like, this level of deep diving into these ideas, you don't see it in other live streams, okay? So you better reward this channel by sharing this video, okay? Get us to 30,000 subscribers, okay? And hit the bell button. Just do it, okay? Come on. It deserves, like, all this work deserves a little bit of love. Is it really hard to like this video? Is it really that hard? It just takes you half a second. Come on now. I said subscribe! Ha! You thought I'm not going to yell? Of course I'm going to yell. Subscribe! Come on! You know it. You know this video, this channel deserves it. Subscribe! Give us half of you don't subscribe. Half of you watch these videos without subscribing. What the hell is wrong with you? It's your dharma. Do it! Do it now!